What's going on? Welcome to the second part of the suspension replacement on the X5. Today we're going to take care of the rear of the car. In the prior video we did the front. I'm going to link a video right above if you haven't watched it. But with that being said, if you manage to do the front, the rear is a walk in the park. Basically, it's so easy. You do not even have to take off the wheels of the car. All you have to do is maybe drive on some ramps to have some extra clearance, but honestly that's not even necessary. So let's see what we need to replace the rear shocks on the F15 X5. I have my brand new Bilstein shocks right here. They are side specific because they come with these brake line brackets, so you have to watch out which shocks goes on which side. You will need three basic tools for this job. You will need a 21mm for the bottom of the shock, and for the top hat you will need a 16mm. And to replace the shock mounts, you will also need 6mm hex. So all you do is lift your trunk cover here, and your shock mounts are located right here. They are held by a 16mm nuts, and what you want to do is remove those first. With the three nuts removed, you could move to the bottom of the car, right underneath here. First you have to remove the brake line clip from the brake line bracket. You just move that out, and we could undo the 21mm bolt. Well, that didn't go as planned. Here, what happened here is this is a steel bolt that goes into a aluminum piece of control arm. We have what's called a galvanic oxidation. We have to treat it with some heat, just like we did the front. And this is pretty safe because there's no rubber pieces around, so you could just heat this up from the bottom. That should be enough to expand and loosen this bolt. Let's try now. Let's try now. Ooh, there it is. Needed some heat to let go. And now you could basically remove your shock. See inside all that oxidation. So if you live where there's snow, this is what you might encounter. To remove the top hat, all you need is an 18mm with an open end, so you could slide your 6mm hex, so we could free up the hat from the shock. Have the hat removed, inspect it. If there's no visible damage, then you could probably reuse it. I'm gonna reuse mine because the bump stop looks okay inside, so there's no point of replacing it unless obviously there's obvious damage. We got the new Bilstein shock on here. All you do is just put it right back on same way it came out. Put the new nut on. This nut is 19mm now, and torque it down to 34 Newton meters, and we're done. Before you install it, you want to notice how the hat is located, because it's a triangle shape, so the distance between these two bolts is longer than between this and that. So it's going to be actually facing this way, so the long bolts are going to be facing, the longer distance is going to be facing towards the back of the car. You see here, this is the longer distance, so it's facing actually backwards. To reinstall these Bilsteins from below here, you will need the help of a jack, or you have to be really strong because they take quite a bit of force to compress. So you need to compress it so the shock aligns with this hole. Let's reinstall this here. Let's slide it in just like that. Line up with the holes, and then you see the shock is sticking out. So I have to lift it. You want to align it and take your new bolt. Make sure you use new bolts, because galvanic oxidation, you might not be able to take it out if you ever need to. I'm gonna put some copper anti-seize. Not sure if this is gonna prevent it, but hopefully it will definitely maybe help it out. Thread it in by hand first, make sure that the thread catches, and finish with your wrench. That's probably the hardest part of this procedure, is lining this up. And we could tighten the nuts up top, and obviously if you're doing it the other way, you will need a second person to catch to tighten the nuts on top, otherwise the shock will fall out. So this is pretty much the only way to do it if you don't have anybody to help you out. Don't forget to secure your brake line so it does not dingle. The clip back in. In the trunk over here, you just have to put the nuts back on. And torque spec on those is 56 Newton meters. And that's how easy it was to change the rear shocks on the X5. Again, some of you might encounter aluminum oxidations, then you will need to use some heat like I did, but honestly it wasn't all that bad. So now we fully have completed the replacement of the front and the rear shocks. So now it's an exciting part. I can't wait to see how this suspension or this upgrade, the Bilstein B6 shocks, perform in real life use. So I'm gonna do a video within the next few days and review this setup and see if it was worth the upgrade. So be sure to check that video out, and in the meantime, thank you for watching. Hit a like, subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.